good meat eaters as well. So these guys will consume any kind of meat. They'll eat all of it too. So bones, fur, eyes, organs, teeth, absolutely everything of the meat they want to eat will be consumed. Tasmanian devils have the strongest jaw of any mammal relative to their size. They can break a cow leg in a single bite. So wow. The jaw strength is unbelievably impressive, and it does mean that they can consume any of the bones of the animals they are wanting to eat. They can be predators. So Tassie devils will typically weigh up to around 10 kilos. They can take down 20 to 30 kilogram wombats if they need to. So they can be predators, but they're pretty lazy. They prefer to find food that has already been killed for them. So their preference in the wild is to be scavengers, to come across deceased items and then eat it from there. These guys are really good at finding this food source as well. They can smell rotting flesh for over a kilometre away. So they can seek it out from a long way, and they can travel up to 30 kilometres in a single night in search of this next meal. Because of this scavenging feeding behaviour, they have no idea when they are going to be lucky enough to stumble across that next meal. And what that means, they've adapted the ability to eat as much as physically possible to allow them to go up to 2 weeks sometimes without eating again. When a Tasmanian devil gorge feeds, they can consume up to 40% of their body weight in half an hour. To put that into perspective, if you think about a 100-kilo man or woman, that's the equivalent of that person eating 40 kilos of meat in 30 minutes. Not possible. We'd have a crack, I'm sure, but certainly not possible for us. But that's what devils do. As I said, a meal that large will leave them don't have to go for food for up to 2 weeks. They probably start to want to eat within 4 days though. A meal that size does have its disadvantages though. When they do gorge feed themselves like that, they actually physically cannot move for about 3 to 4 days after consuming that food. So it literally puts them into a food coma. Now thankfully for them here in Tasmania, they don't have any natural threats. So they have been able to develop this ability of eating a lot of food and then not being able to run away from any potential threats. However, they don't want to risk falling asleep out in the open, because even though there's no natural predators here for Tasmanian devils, that is a very vulnerable place to be. So they'll do one of two things when they want to gorge feed. They'll either find a small-ish animal and they'll drag it back to their den. These guys are strong. They could drag a fully grown male wallaby back to their den if they wanted to, so a 12-kilo item, something about the size of their body. Or if they happen to stumble across something that's too big to drag, let's say they found a dead cow on someone's farm. This is a jackpot meal for a Tasmanian devil. You don't want to miss the opportunity to eat it, but also, if you do fill your body up, you're not going to be able to run away from any potential threats. These guys, though, have come up with a solution to solve this problem, and what they'll do is they'll actually climb inside the cow, and they'll begin to eat it from inside out. This is really clever for a number of reasons, because it means when you're so full that you physically cannot move from any potential threats, you just fall asleep within the safety of that cow's rib cage. You can nap that off for 3 to 4 days, then when you wake up and you're feeling a bit peckish again, you'll just eat your way out and the cycle will continue. So pretty gross, but a pretty clever way these guys have adapted to that gorge feeding behaviour they participate in during the wild. Now, a lot of you may be aware, Tasmanian devils are considered endangered in the wild. Unfortunately, there are thought to be as few as 15,000 of these animals left in the wild, which is a reduction of about 80 to 90% of the population we had in the wild about 20 or 25 years ago. The cause is devil facial tumour disease. Now, some of you may have heard of that before. It gets talked about in the media a lot. Devil facial tumour disease has been disastrous for wild Tasmanian devil populations. It is, basically what it is a contagious cancer, which is extremely rare. Contagious cancers do not normally occur in the animal kingdom. In fact, there's only 4 known types of contagious cancers in the animal kingdom in the entire world. 1 in dogs, 1 in crustaceans like lobsters, and 2 different types in Tasmanian devils. So these guys are exceptionally unlucky. And basically what happens is the cancer is spread from devil to devil through saliva in open wounds. Now these guys didn't do any arguing over their treats today, but when Tasmanians do argue with one another or want to establish a hierarchy, they do a lot of open mouth wrestling with one another. They never cause any severe injuries. As I mentioned earlier, they can break cow legs if they need to. So they could definitely bite limbs off one another, but they never do that much damage. Instead, it's just very superficial open mouth biting. What will happen though is almost every devil in the wild will have open wounds on their face. Now we know that devil facial tumour disease started in a single female Tasmanian devil. We still have no idea how she got it, and probably never will. But what we do know is that she passed away from that disease. A number of devils would have smelt her rotting carcass, come and consumed her. As I said earlier, devils will eat anything, including other Tasmanian devils if they happen to find them dead. Those devils would have come and consumed her carcass. All of those devils likely would have had open wounds on their face. All of those devils would have likely got devil facial tumour disease. They would have dispersed, gone to feeding sites with other Tasmanian devils. The same things would have happened, and all of a sudden 80 to 90% of the wild population is gone because one female Tasmanian devil started with devil facial tumour disease. So it has been a real disaster for this species. There is some really good news though. We support the Save the Tasmanian Devil appeal, who have been doing research on the existing Tasmanian devils in the wild since devil facial tumour disease started. They've started to find that devils are starting to evolve with devil facial tumour disease. It's still out there and it is still killing them. But what we're finding is that devils can live longer with the disease now. Initially, it was a 3 to 4 month period before the animals would pass away. But now, Tasmanian devils can live up to 18 months with the disease. Now, while they will still pass away, 18 months means they can get a litter of joeys out. And as Chloe said, that can be up to 4 animals per year per devil. So population numbers are slowly starting to increase again. What we have also found is previously devil facial tumour disease was 100% fatal. All devils would die when they got the disease. However, fresh research now has found 50 different Tasmanian devils that have been seen with devil facial tumour disease, recaptured, and the disease was totally gone. They've survived it on their own without any human intervention. Now 50 is quite a small number, but this is really exciting because what it's allowed is for researchers to look at those devils and determine how come those devils have survived when all the devils before them didn't. What they've been able to establish is that the devils actually do have natural immunity to devil facial tumour disease, but for some reason that immunity is switched off in their body. It's not their natural stance. They don't naturally want to fight it. However, if you provide Tasmanian devils with a specially made vaccine, that immune response will turn on and all devils can fight devil facial tumour disease. So the really exciting research that is happening right now, and at the moment this has only been proven in labs, in little petri dishes, but at the moment there is about to be some really important field research happening where they're going to be trialling this vaccine on Tasmanian devils in human care in some areas, testing to see if this response works in live devils, turning on that natural immune response so that when these devils do catch devil facial tumour disease, hopefully their bodies will naturally fight it and we will start to combat this in the wild. This is a long-term research project, so we're in the very, very early stages now. But COVID vaccine research has actually skyrocketed and really helped advance Tasmanian devil research as well in terms of the vaccine, as they're using the well. So it's only early days, but supporting the Save the Tasmanian Devil appeal is exactly how you can help to save these guys in the wild, as they're doing a lot of really important work, not only with researching to see what's happening with those devils currently, but helping to safeguard them in the future through this really important vaccine research as well. Alrighty, does anybody have any questions for myself or Chloe at all regarding the Tasmanian devils? No worries. Well, I hope you enjoyed that once again. Chloe, well done for your first presentation today. Next one is going to be at 1